So running ads for a local business isn't as easy as it looks, and I found that one out the hard way when I put money into my first campaign and watched it disappear without a single real customer actually calling me. Look, every dollar has to matter. That money could have gone to payroll, supplies, or just keeping things running. Instead, I felt like I'd handed it over for nothing. The problem wasn't that I didn't want to advertise, I just needed something built for a business like mine, something simple, something that would actually bring in paying customers, not just empty clicks. That's what led me to test Yelp ads, since people already use Yelp when they're ready to hire, and later I tried Google Ads as well, just to see how the two compared side by side. So let's start with Yelp, and that felt kind of natural because even before I even paid for ads, I was already getting the occasional lead just from having my listing up. Someone would hit the request a quote button or call me straight through the app. Even though it wasn't a flood of business, it proved that people on Yelp weren't just browsing, they were actively seeking businesses out. So I figured if it's already working a little on its own, maybe putting some money behind it would turn that trickle into something steady. And getting started was simple. Yelp paired me with an account manager who walked me through the first campaign, and I liked that I didn't have to spend hours tweaking settings. My business started showing up in branded spots above competitors and in category searches like web design near me. I wasn't buried at the bottom of the page anymore, I was right where people were looking. But what really stood out were the quality of the leads. These are not just curious clicks, they were actual conversations with people who had already decided to move forward. Like one of my first calls came in the same day the ad went live, and it was someone who had their credit card out already, they just needed the details. But I also noticed that the ads only really help when the profile is in good shape. You need fresh photos, updated services, and quick replies to reviews. They all make a huge difference. When you let that slide, your results are going to drop off pretty quickly. And by the way, if you want to test either Yelp or Google Ads, I left some links down in the description and pinned in the comments. And those usually come with exclusive deals that you won't find on the company's sites, so make sure to take a look. After a few weeks of running Yelp ads, I figured I should try Google too. I mean, that's usually the first place people go when they're searching for anything, so it only makes sense to test it side by side. Now, the setup, totally different experience. With Google, you control everything: keywords, match types, negative filters, headlines, landing pages. And that level of control can be powerful, but it also meant I was spending a lot of time just trying to set my settings. Logging into the dashboard felt less like checking an ad account and more like staring at a cockpit. Tabs, graphs, alerts everywhere. If you're not used to PPC, this can get overwhelming really quickly. Then once the campaigns went live, the traffic started rolling in. Impressions shut up, clicks followed, and for a minute, it felt like things were working. But here's the problem. A lot of that traffic didn't actually turn into real leads. One of the first calls I got was from someone 2 towns over. Had a great conversation with him, totally outside the area I could serve. Others were people shopping around with any real intent to book anything. It started to feel like I was paying for attention, not really customers. So to squeeze real results out of it, I had to keep going back in, adding negative keywords, adjusting bids, rewriting headlines, and even after all that, the quality of the leads never quite matched what I'd been getting on Yelp. Now, that does not mean Google Ads is bad at all. For broader reach and long-term brand visibility, it's one of the best tools out there, 100%. But if your goal is local jobs and quick wins, you gotta be way more involved than you would with Yelp. Now, when it comes to pricing, this is where things get kind of interesting. See, Yelp runs on packages. At the bottom, you've got the free business page, which is basically just a listing. Then there's Yelp Ads, which starts at about $150 a month, and an upgrade package at $180. But if you want both together, you're looking at roughly $270 a month and up. Even though you pick a plan, it still works on a cost per click model with a daily minimum spend of about $5. So for my test, I put in just over $150 to get that ad visibility. From that budget, I saw about 18 real engagements. 5 of those turned into legit leads and 2 became paying customers. So based on what those jobs ended up being worth, the return felt pretty solid. Google played out differently. I set about the same monthly budget, and because their clicks often run cheaper, I pulled in close to 60 clicks that month. Sounds great, but only 3 of those turned into actual leads and just 1 became a customer. When I compared the two, my cost per client on Google was much higher than it was on Yelp. And there's another angle here: time. Yelp was basically set your budget, keep your profile polished, let it run. Google had me in the dashboard constantly. Keywords, bids, headlines. Yelp ended up giving me stronger leads for the money, and it didn't pull me away from actually, running my business. So after using both, here's how I see it. If you are a service-based business with a Yelp presence already, I would start there. It's easier to set up, the people coming in feel more serious, and as long as you keep your profile polished, the ads can turn into paying jobs without a ton of extra work. Google Ads is still a strong platform, no question, and if you've got the time or you're hiring someone to manage it, it can help build your brand and keep you visible everywhere. But if you're running things solo and you just need a steady flow of local customers, Yelp gave me better short-term results for the budget I put in. Look, neither one of them is perfect. With Yelp, you do have to stay on top of your listing and watch your spend. With Google, you're in the weeds making a lot of adjustments. But side by side, for my money and for my type of business, Yelp pulled ahead. But if you want to try either one for yourself, I've got those links in the description, and those will usually get you some special deals that you won't find on their websites. Also, if you're interested in working with us or sponsoring a future video, just reach out using the email in the description below. As always, I enjoy hearing your thoughts, so feel free to leave any questions or comments down below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. And if this video helped you out, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more reviews like this. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.